1976 was a silk-smooth summer of groove radio nights glowing with romance, rhythm, and the rise of a new urban sound. Midway through the year, one slow-burn jam had lovers swaying under streetlights. And later in this list, the legendary vocalist delivered a soul-shaking anthem that still echoes today. These are the R&B memories of '76 we'll never let fade. Number 10, You Don't Have to Be a Star to Be in My Show by Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr.
Baby, come as you are with just your heart.
This duet arrived in 1976 like a warm, late evening breeze. Two seasoned voices stepping out of their fifth dimension success and into a moment that felt beautifully intimate. Released on ABC Records, the married pair were in a unique career crossroads, finding their footing outside the group format. And behind the sweetness of the melody was a quiet industry surprise.
Just too hard.
Few expected this gentle, affectionate tune to dominate the charts during a year pulsing with disco and funk. But when the record spun, listeners felt something different. You can almost picture the glow of wooden-paneled living rooms, the soft haze of vinyl dust floating through the air, couples swaying cheek to cheek as the needle traced its groove. It wasn't just a song, it was reassurance, a reminder that love doesn't need spotlights.
Find out where you're coming from.
The track soared to number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B charts, earning the duo a Grammy and giving 1906 one of its most tender sing-along moments. And if this was the year's warm embrace, the next song brings a whole different kind of fire. Number 9, Kiss and Say Goodbye by the Manhattans. When the Manhattans released this heart-wrencher in early 1976 on Columbia Records, they were already respected veterans of the R&B scene, but no one knew this ballad would become one of the decade's defining goodbye songs. Gerald Alston's velvet smooth lead vocal carried the emotional weight of a man torn between desire and duty, and the spoken word intro was a bold creative choice at the time. Even the group worried it might be too dramatic for radio. Turns out, that theatrical touch became its secret weapon. Listeners remember hearing it late at night on quiet FM stations. The kind of moment where you're alone in your room, blinds half drawn, city lights reflecting off glass. And suddenly, this song makes you feel every goodbye you've ever lived through. The arrangement is slow, deliberate, like a final conversation you wish didn't have to happen. Kiss and Say Goodbye didn't just top the R&B charts.
In an instant, there you saw.
It crossed over and hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the first R&B songs recorded digitally to reach that height. Its influence still echoes in modern breakup ballads with spoken intros and dramatic builds. If this one tugged at the heart, get ready. The next track adds a little swagger and a whole lot of street corner soul. Number 8, Disco Lady by Johnny Taylor. By 1976, Johnny Taylor was already a seasoned powerhouse cutting his teeth at Stax Records before finding a new lane at Columbia. But nobody expected Disco Lady to explode the way it did. Released at the very start of the year, it rode the rising tide of nightlife culture just as disco was beginning to blend with R&B's church-rooted soul. The magic. Taylor's voice equal parts grit and seduction, dancing over that silky, irresistible groove. Behind the scenes, the track had a wild twist. It featured members of Parliament Funkadelic as uncredited musicians, giving it that low-end strut and cosmic shimmer that fans instantly felt. And when the hook hits, you can practically see the mirrored dance floors, smell the leather jackets warming under club lights, and hear the buzz of neon signs outside late-night bars. It wasn't just a song, it was a whole weekend. Disco Lady became the first single ever to be certified platinum by the RIAA, topping both the R&B and Hot 100 charts and cementing Taylor as the voice of the dance floor. If this was the soundtrack to Saturday night, the next track brings the kind of sweetness that ruled Sunday morning. Number 7, Susus Al Love by Commodores.
Love that lasts forever, flying high, so high.
Long before Lionel Richie was crafting some of the most unforgettable ballads of the 80s, he was the heart-melting voice behind this 1906 gem from the Commodores. Released on Motown's legendary label, Sweet Love showcased a different side of a band mostly known for funk workouts and high-energy jams. Here, they slowed things down and let the emotion breathe. What makes this track truly special is its unexpected origin. Richie originally wrote it as a quiet piano piece, never imagining it would become a centerpiece of the group's Moving On album. The other members pushed him to bring it forward, and once they wrapped it in warm harmonies and gentle guitar touches, they knew they had something timeless. You can practically feel the summer night air of '76. Windows cracked open, radios humming in parked cars, and that unmistakable Motown glow pouring out into the streets.
Give my life so much midnight, and
One of music's great romantic storytellers. Its influence can be heard in countless R&B slow jams afterward, each borrowing a little of that softness and sincerity. If this one wrapped us in tenderness, the next track turns up the heat with a deeper, funkier pulse. Number 6, Shake Your Rump to the Funk by the Bar-Kays. By 1906, the Bar-Kays had evolved into one of the tightest funk units in America post-Stax rebirth after tragedy, rebuilt with fierce musicianship and Memphis grit. Shake Your Rump to the Funk, released on Mercury Records, was their declaration that they were fully back and ready to dominate dance floors coast to coast. The bass line strutted in like a confident giant, the horns blasted with attitude, and the groove felt engineered for late-night block parties. What many fans don't know is that the band initially doubted whether radio would embrace something this raw and unfiltered. But DJs couldn't resist. The song spread like wildfire, booming out of jukeboxes, roller rinks, and car stereos with that unmistakable Southern funk flavor. You can almost picture the polished floors of '70s skating rinks, disco lights bouncing off mirrored walls, and crowds moving in perfect, sweaty rhythm. It hit strong on the R&B charts and became a Bar-Kays signature proof they were more than survivors. They were innovators. And if this one got your feet moving, the next track takes us right into the soft glow of Quiet Storm romance. Number 5, I Want You by Marvin Gaye.
want me, baby.
When Marvin Gaye dropped I Want You in 1976, he wasn't just releasing another love song, he was reshaping the very sound of sensual R&B. Fresh off a turbulent period in his personal life, Gaye partnered with producer Leon Ware, whose lush, layered style pushed Marvin into a dreamier, more intimate direction. Released on Motown's Tamla label, the track felt like stepping into a velvet-lit room where every emotion is whispered, not shouted.
But I want you, want me to.
One of the most intriguing behind-the-scenes details is that this song wasn't originally meant for Gaye at all. Ware had crafted the album for himself until Motown execs insisted Marvin was the perfect vessel. And once Marvin wrapped his voice around it, the track transformed into pure longing. Imagine hearing it on a humid summer night, Windows open, street lamps buzzing, the city exhaling as that soft beat drifted into the darkness. I Want You carved out the blueprint for Quiet Storm radio and laid the groundwork for generations of R&B crooners. If the mood wasn't already set, the next 5 songs will take us even deeper into the heart of '76. If these grooves from 1976 are stirring memories, go ahead and give this video a like. It helps keep the soul alive. And don't go anywhere. We've still got 5 unforgettable tracks waiting to light up the rest of this countdown. Number 4, Love Hangover by Diana Ross. In 1976, Diana Ross was already a superstar icon who had conquered Motown, film, and the charts. But with Love Hangover, released on Motown Records, she stepped boldly into a new era. What started as a silky, almost hypnotic ballad suddenly transformed into a full-on disco rush. Ross recorded the entire track in near darkness with candles lit around the studio to help her relax into the sensual vibe. Producers later revealed she had no idea the tempo switch was coming until the musicians kicked in. Which is why her laughter and little improvisations feel so incredibly natural. When fans first heard it, it was like being pulled into a slow dance and then spun onto the dance floor without warning. Picture a warm 1976 evening. Lights shimmering through club windows, sequins catching glints of gold, and Diana's voice gliding from romance to euphoria in one seamless breath. Love Hangover shot to number 1 on both the R&B and Hot 100 charts, cementing Ross as not just a ballad queen, but a disco pioneer. And if this track was the glamorous high of '76, the next song brings a groove built straight from the street's lean rhythmic and impossible not to move to. Number 3, You Should Be Dancing by Bee Gees. Though often grouped with disco, the Bee Gees' 1976 smash carried deep R&B roots, blending falsetto harmonies with a driving rhythm section influenced heavily by black club culture. Released on RSO Records, this song marked the Gibb brothers' transformation into dance floor royalty. What people didn't see was the grind behind the scenes. Maurice Gibb struggled with the bass line for days, determined to create something that felt both funky and futuristic. When he locked it in, the studio erupted. They knew they had something that would shake the world. The first time listeners heard it, the beat felt electric, like stepping into a room where the air itself vibrates. Think flashing floor tiles, sweat-slicked dance circles, and that almost euphoric feeling of losing yourself under spinning disco balls. The song dominated charts globally and laid the foundation for the Bee Gees' legendary Saturday Night Fever era. Its influence still pulses through modern pop and dance tracks today. And if this one brought pure energy, the next song delivers the silky midnight cool that defined grown folks' R&B. Number 2, Sara Smile by Hall & Oates.
We're waiting for the sunlight.
Released in 1976 on RCA Records, Sara Smile became Hall & Oates' breakthrough moment into the R&B world, a crossover ballad with a tenderness so genuine. It felt handwritten for anyone who'd ever loved deeply. At the time, the duo was still struggling to find their place in the industry. They'd experimented with folk, rock, and blue-eyed soul, but nothing had clicked on a national scale. Then came this song, quiet, honest, and inspired by Daryl Hall's longtime partner, Sarah Allen.
It's you and me forever.
There's a little-known story about how the track almost didn't make the album. It was meant as a personal piece, something they'd occasionally play during sound checks. But every engineer who heard it insisted, this is the one. The moment you press play, you're transported. Imagine a dim 1976 living room with the stereo glowing amber, rain tapping softly at the windows, and Hall's voice coming through like a warm confession meant just for you. Sara's smile soared up the R&B charts before crossing over to the Hot 100, proving that soul isn't defined by color.
Let me hear you sing Smile. Hey, come on.
It's defined by truth. Its harmonies became a template for countless duos who followed, and its emotional honesty still hits like a deep exhale. And if this gentle classic made your heart melt, trust me, nothing prepares you for the undeniable force sitting at number one. Number one, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye.
Did you hear it? Hey.
Though originally released in 1971, Marvin Gaye's masterpiece found renewed life and emotional gravity in 1976, as radio stations revived socially conscious R&B during a year full of cultural change. Tamla Records reissued the single in several markets, and the song surged once again, becoming a staple of the mid-70s airwaves. At this point in his career, Gaye was both a legend and a seeker, carrying the weight of fame, activism, and personal turmoil. The track became a grounding force, reminding listeners that love and awareness were not opposing ideas, but essential companions. A fascinating detail. The soaring background vocals weren't meant to be part of the final cut. They were guide harmonies Marvin layered for the engineers, but the producers loved the ethereal effects so much, they kept them in. That accident created one of R&B's most iconic textures. Hearing it in 1976 felt like sitting on a porch at dusk, neighborhoods buzzing, kids playing in the distance, and Marvin's voice urging everyone to stay tender, stay alert, stay human. The song became a renewed anthem played at rallies, family cookouts, late-night DJ sets, and quiet car rides home. Its influence remains immeasurable, shaping generations of soul, hip-hop, and neo-soul artists.
Pure and bad.
From social consciousness to aching romance, this final track is the heart of the year's R&B story. From the dreamy whispers of "I Want You" to the dance floor glow of "Love Hangover," these unforgettable R&B moments remind us why 1976 was a year dripping with soul. Thanks for vibing through this musical journey with me. Subscribe to keep the groove alive and never miss our next deep dive. And for your next nostalgia trip, click the end screen to roll straight into our countdown of more timeless classics. 10 R&B songs from 1975 we'll never forget. Let's keep the rhythm flowing.